journal. Coming to what are the features, a journal is a book of prime entry in which transactions are recorded in a chronological order. That means date wise, month wise. Okay, so one date cannot overlap another dates. Okay, so it establishes the linkage with the ledger. It serves as the source for future reference to the accounting transaction. It gives adequate explanation in the form of narration to each transaction, which describe briefly the true nature and context of the transaction. Amount of transaction is recorded in both debit and credit column. Side by side, it helps in maintaining arithmetical accuracy of the books of accounts. Then what are the advantages and disadvantages? As I told you in the last class, that everything is having some sort of advantage as well as disadvantage. The journal is also having some sort of advantage as well as disadvantages. These are all theoretical part. Transactions are recorded chronologically as per date. Classification and posting in ledger can be made conveniently. The chance of omission can be ruled out as the journal entries are made immediately, because once you identify the transaction, it has to be recorded chronologically. So when you record chronologically, there is no chance of any omission. Okay, and manipulation can be minimized also, and error also can be located by preparing the journal. So these are the few advantages. Coming to the disadvantage, when there are too many transactions, the recording in journal is overloaded. That's why most of the large scale undertaking or large business houses, they are preferring to subsidiary books instead of journal. Posting of transaction from journal to ledger is a time consuming process. It is very cumbersome. Okay, and difficult also. The net effect of all transactions relating to a particular account cannot be known from the journal. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages. Then let us discuss what is the format of a journal book. See, this is the format. At the top of the journal, please look at the cursor where I am highlighting. Okay, here you have to write at the top, journal in the books of messers dot dot dot. Why I put dot dot dot? Because for a particular business firm or organization, you are going to record the different transaction in the book of journal for which month? For the month of January, February, March, April, May. This is the month of May, and this is the last date of May. May month. So here you have to write for the month of May 2020. So after writing this, you have to prepare one table, and which consisting of 5 columns. The first column is date column. Second one is particular column. Third one is LF. LF, full form of LF is ledger folio. And fourth column is debit. The short form of debit is DR dot, the debit amount rupees. Similarly, the short form of credit CR dot amount rupees. Okay, so for each and every transaction, you have to satisfy that there are two aspects. One is debit aspect and credit aspect, and the debit aspect must be equal with the credit aspect. Okay, so at the end of recording all the transaction in the journal book, you have to identify the total of debit column as well as the total of credit column. And when, if the total of debit column matched with the total of credit column, then you have to assume that there is no question of any error. Huh? So uh, it will be all okay. Okay. Then there is another column in the journal book that is called LF, which is known as ledger folio. Ledger folio means the page number. Ledger means the ledger book. So after recording the journal, you have to post all the transaction in the book of ledger. That means, let's say take example, cash account is there and capital account is there. So cash account is situated in which page number of the ledger book. That can be easily accessible by from this particular column, that is called ledger folio column. Okay. Similarly, capital account is situated in which page number of the ledger book, that also can be identified by going through the third column of the journal. Okay. Then next we'll discuss what are the different steps of journaling. My dear students, this is most important. You have to follow. This is called process of recording. That is, these are the different steps that you have to follow, and there are 9 steps. But basically, this is not required. These are as per the book. I have written this, but only thing, you have to identify what are the main steps that you have to follow while recording the different transaction in the book of journal. The first step is find the accounts involved in the transaction. After identifying the transaction, you have to find the accounts. Already I told you cash account, capital account, furniture account, rent account, commission account, interest account, Mrs. Sobhagya account, okay, bank account. Like that, you have to find out all the accounts involved in a transaction. In step 2, ascertain the nature of accounts, whether it is personal, real, or nominal, that you have to identify. Then step 3, apply the rules of debit and credit for each of the accounts involved. That means personal account, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Nominal account, debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. That you have to apply. Once you identify the nature of account, whether it is personal, real, and nominal, you have to apply the rules of debit and credit. That is, whether personal account, debit and credit, real account, debit and credit, nominal account, debit and credit, that you have to apply. In step 4, determine which account is to be debited and which account is to be credited. Okay. Step 5, the date of transaction is to be recorded in the date column. In the date column, in journal format, there is a the first column is known as date column. So you have to write the date first, because chronologically you have to maintain May 1, May 2, May 5, May 6, May 7, May 9, May 10, May 11, May 12, like that. So you should not record May 20th first, then May 1. No, you have to record in a chronologically, date wise. Okay. Then step 6, the debit item should be recorded in the first line of particular column, that is debit, and the right written to the right of this item on the same line. The amount debited is also written on the same line in the amount debit column. Step 6, that is the reverse or opposite of step 7. Okay. So the amount which is credited is recorded in the second line just below the debit item preceded by the word to in the particular column. We'll discuss, we'll solve. Don't be panic. I think in point number 6 and step number 6 and step number 7, uh, you might be panic, but don't get panic yourself. I'll make you understand. Okay. So the amount credited is mentioned in the second line in the amount credit column. In step 8, write the brief description of the transaction, and this is nothing but called narration. Okay, brief description of each and every transaction. And step 10, draw a demarcating line across the entire particular column, only particular column. It should not cross the in the debt column or LF column or the debit column or credit column. So these are the steps one has to follow while going for preparing a journal. So let us solve one problem: how to prepare a journal. So first of all, in the question like this, so many number of transactions will come in the form of a question, and you have to prepare a journal entry. So here in this illustration, it is written, pass the journal entries in the books of Messrs. Onsuma. Okay, you started business with cash. Okay, out of the above, rupees 2000 are deposited in the bank. Okay, so here that particular 9 steps you have to follow. So let us solve one problem. Okay, one problem. So in the solution part, here you have to prepare the table, and at the top of the table, okay, columnar table, you have to write journal in the books of Mr. Sansuman, because the business name is Mr. Sansuman for the month of December 2006, because here it is written, see, not written anything regarding the year. Here I have mentioned December 2006. Okay. And but here you can assume that, or you may assume that this is December 1, December 2, December 3, 4, 5, like that, December 12. So in December 1, you have started business with cash 10,000. So first step is you have to identify what are the different heads of accounts involved in this particular transaction. Heads of account, one is cash account, another is capital account. So how it will be written? See here in the particular column, after putting the date, okay, date, cash account debited to capital account. So in this manner only you have to write, leave some space, to you have to write capital account. And after writing this, within bracket you have to write one brief description of the transaction. This is called what? This highlighting part, this is called the narration. That means being business started with cash. Some students are writing that being business started with cash, or some students are writing being the commencement of business. Okay, and leave the LF column, because this is for only academic purpose, but for business organization point of view, you have to mention Cash account in which page? Here you have to mention the page number. Capital account in which page of the ledger book? You have to mention the page number of the ledger. Okay. So again, cash of rupees 10,000, that is to be written on the debit column. Capital of rupees to be in the credit column. Clear? Next transaction here it is written. Out of the above, 2,000 are deposited in the bank account. Okay, that means how many number of account? One is cash, another is bank. So bank account debited to cash account, and after that you have to write the narration being cash deposited in the bank. How much deposited? 2,000. So in the debit column 2,000, in the credit column also 2,000. Third transaction, purchased office furniture for cash worth rupees 1,000. That means there are two accounts. One is office furniture and second one is cash. So here furniture account debited to cash account. And in the debit column 1,000, credit column 1,000, and narration is being furniture purchased for cash. Then purchased goods for cash rupees 1,500. Two accounts, one is good, another is cash. So purchase account debited to cash account. This particular transaction, that is purchase account debited to cash account, and in the debit column 1,500, credit column 1,500. Being goods purchased for cash. The next is purchased goods from Mrs. Sobhagya. Purchased goods from Mrs. Sobhagya on credit for rupees 2,000. What are the two different heads of account? One is purchase account, another is Sobhagya account. So here purchase account debited to Mrs. Sobhagya account, that is 2,000 being goods purchased on credit. Okay. The next is sold goods for cash rupees 3. The credit column also you have to write 3,000 cash to Divya on credit for rupees 3,500. That means बाकी रे बिक्री कल कहा को बिक्री कल दिव्य को बिक्री कल ताले दिव्य account debited to sales account. Divya account debited to sales account being goods sold 3,500, 3,500. Clear? तापर कौन ना received cash from Divya 3,430 allowed him discount rupees 70. Okay. ताले हमें दिव्य को कितने टଙ୍କା जिनसे बिक्री करते हैं 3,500 टଙ୍କା. रिसीव कले केते 3,430 टଙ୍କା. डिस्काउंट देले केते 70 टଙ୍କା. ताले हमें सेटा केमते देखिबा ना कैश अकाउंट डेबिटेड 3,430 देखो 3,470 डिस्काउंट अकाउंट डेबिटेड 30 टू दिव्य अकाउंट 3,500. Clear? So narration is being cash received and discount. The next is paid cash to Mrs. Sobhagya 1,950 in full settlement of his account. तामाने कोन आमे सौभाग्य टू जिनस किनिथिले को डिसेंबर 5 रे देखो एठी जोटा मु हाइलाइट करूची purchased goods from Mrs. Sobhagya on credit 2,000 ताको देले केते टंका पेड कैश 1950 टंका ताले आमे लाभ पाइले केते टंका 50 टंका ताले सेटा केमते लेखाबो ना मिसेस सौभाग्य अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू कैश अकाउंट टू डिस्काउंट अकाउंट देखो लेखा है डिसेंबर 9 मिसेस सौभाग्य अकाउंट डेबिटेड 2,000 टू कैश अकाउंट देले केते टंका 1950 टंका डिस्काउंट केते छाडला से हमको 50 टंका. सो बीइंग पेमेंट ऑफ कैश इन सेटलमेंट. तापरे नेक्स्ट ट्रांजैक्शन हला पेड सैलरीज रुपीस 500 टू अकाउंट्स को गोटे होची सैलरी आ गोटे होची कैश. ताले कोन जर्नल एंट्री हो ना सैलरी अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू कैश अकाउंट देखो सैलरी अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू कैश अकाउंट 505 being the payment of salaries. The next transaction is received commission of rupees 1,000. Two accounts, one is commission, another is cash. So cash account debited to commission account 100 being receipt of commission. The next is charged depreciation for full year on furniture at 10% per annum. So here in December 3, you have purchased office furniture for cash worth rupees 1,000, and on that 10% depreciation has been charged. So how much depreciation has been charged? 100 rupees during 1 year. What do you mean by depreciation? Depreciation means reduction in the book value of the asset. So here you have to write the journal entry depreciation account debited to furniture account in the debit column 100, in the credit column 100, and narration is being the depreciation charged. Okay. Then after that you have to, so these are the 12 different number of transactions successfully you have posted in different columns or in the book of journal. After that you have to total it. That means here see where I am putting my cursor or highlighting this two column. 29,200 debit column and 29,200 credit column. So when it it matches, both the column matches, then that means you should assume that there is no there is nothing wrong, or no question of any wrong entry made in the book of journal. But if eventually there will be any mismatch occurred, then you have to assume that there may be some wrong while preparing this what particular journal. Okay, so any doubt up to this? Any doubt? Okay. The next we'll move on to the posting of ledger. So as I told you that journal is the book of prime entry. Okay. Similarly, the ledger is the book of secondary entry. Okay. Secondary means once journal is over, then you can go for ledger. Without posting the transaction in the book of journal, you cannot post them in the book of ledger. Okay. And here it is written or defined by Fieldhouse Arthur, one of the famous financial analysts, who defined ledger is the permanent storehouse of all the transactions. And some features are there. It is the book which contains all the accounts. It may be a bound book or loose leaf card. The pages of the ledger are consecutively numbered. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Already I make you understand in the ledger folio. Okay, all the information relating to any account is available from the ledger. And similar to journal, ledger is also having some sort of advantages as well as disadvantages. Advantages: transactions relating to a particular account is grouped in the concerned account at one place. Ledger shows the summarized periodic balance and reflects the net position of that account. It is the primary step for preparing trial balance. Error and manipulation are controlled to the minimum. So these are the advantages, and disadvantages are like day-to-day history of business is not reflected when only ledger is used. Complete transaction is not shown at one place, as debit and credit aspect of a transaction are recorded in two separate places. Making the entries directly in the ledger increases the probability of errors and leads to difficulty in locating errors. So these are the disadvantages. Then next we'll discuss what are the steps to be followed by the business partner while posting the journals in the book of ledger. So these are the four steps. Make a list of various heads of ledger accounts. Like in journal, C, go to the journal. See, in journal here there are so many different types of accounts. One is cash. C, where I'm putting the cursor. Cash account is there, capital account is there, then bank, okay, then furniture, okay, then purchased, then Mrs. Sobagya, then sales, then Dibya, then discount, then salary, then commission, then depreciation. Okay, so these are the few different types of or heads of account. So you have to make a list of various heads of ledger account. Transaction identified is recorded at one place called account, having two sides. That is, left hand side is known as debit and right hand side is known as credit. Okay, and amount debited to a particular account in journal are posted on the debit side, and the amount credited to a particular account in the journal are posted on the credit side of the console account. And whenever desired, two sides are totaled and difference between two totals is accepted. And this is the format of a ledger. And please be sure that the ledger look like this. Okay, there are two different sides up to, let's say, date particular J, like journal there is a ledger folio column. In ledger there is a journal folio column. Okay, amount rupees. So first four columns represent the debit side. First four columns only, that means starting from up to this, first four column represent as debit side, and the second four columns represented as credit side. So all the receipts are to be recorded on the debit side. All the payments or expenditure are to be recorded on the credit side. Then after recording all the transaction in the format of a ledger, you have to balance them. Okay, what is the use of balancing? To find out which account shows debit balance and which account shows credit balance. So that means that will be represented in the form of by balance carried down or by balance brought down. Okay, by balance carried down, debit balance. Buy balance brought down shows credit balance. Okay. Why balancing is necessary? Balancing is necessary because it will help us in preparing the trial balance of the business firm or the business organization, which we will discuss in the third block, trial balance. Because okay, so no need to be panic. Let us solve this particular journal, how it will be posted in the book of ledger. Up to this, any doubt? Okay, so here you have to make a list of the different heads of account. One is cash account. Already here see cash account. आमे सेठी देखिले कोन ना विभिन्न कैश को जो अकाउंट गुडा डेबिट हेची आमे ताको डेबिट कॉलम रे लिखि देले कैश टू कैपिटल हेतला कारण कैश अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू कैपिटल अकाउंट कैश अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू सेल्स अकाउंट कैश अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू दिव्य अकाउंट एंड कैश अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू कमिशन अकाउंट जोटा आमे देखिथिले जर्नल रे ओके सेडा को जोड़ा डेबिट हेची कैश अकाउंट गुडा जोड़ा डेबिट हेची गोटे एग्जांपल देखिबा हमें तमे देखो एठी एठी देखो कैश अकाउंट एठी डेबिट हेची कैपिटल सेमती फर्नीचर अकाउंट डेबिट एना एठी कैश अकाउंट जो डेबिट हेती ए कैश टू सेल्स हेची एठी पुनी कैश टू दिव्य हेची एठी पुनी कैश टू कमिशन हेची एठी ओके हमें देखो से लेजर से अछि ना देखो कैश टू कैपिटल हेची कैश टू सेल कैश टू दिव्य कैश टू कमिशन सिमिलरली जो कैश अकाउंट गुडा क्रेडिट हेची ताको क्रेडिट कॉलम रे लिखिबा बाय बैंक अकाउंट बाय फर्नीचर अकाउंट बाय परचेज अकाउंट बाय सप्लाई अकाउंट बाय सैलरी अकाउंट बाय okay, so after writing this you have to balance it. Okay, that means first of all you have to arbitrarily see that which side shows more. So here 10,000 is written, that means debit side shows more. So first of all total it. So total of debit side is how much? It is showing 16,530. So out of 16,530 you have to subtract up to this amount. Okay, so to find out what? To find out the balancing figure, to make it equal, both the sides to make it equal. So, and that equal you have to write with a notation. That notation is known as by balance C by D. C by D means carried down. C by D means carried down. How much amount is required to make it equal with the 16,530? That means 9,580 is required to make it equal with the debit side of the cash account. And that's why here again you have to write to balance. B by D means brought down. Let us suppose take example. This is December. We have prepared the journal for the month of December 2006. So here by balance carried down will be written December 31st 2006, and this is the opening balance of January 2007, January 1st 2007, that is known as to balance brought down 9,580. So like this you have to prepare all the, you have to post all the transaction. See capital account by cash account, credit 10,000 capital, then nothing is recorded in the debit side. That means you have to balance it. To balance brought down 10,000, and while balancing this should be opening balance, that is 10,000. Bank account, like that the transactions which are related to bank account, that will be recorded on the debit side, and the journals which are concerned with the or credited with the bank account, that will be recorded in the credit side, and after that you will find the balancing. So here bank account shows debit balance, that is 2,000 rupees. Then like transaction which are related to furniture account will be recorded on the debit side as well as credit side. Then after writing you have to balance it. So furniture account here shows the debit balance of rupees 900. Then transaction which are related to depreciation account, that you have to record on the debit side as well as credit side. Then after recording you have to find out how much is the balance, debit balance or credit balance. So here depreciation account shows the debit balance, that is rupees 100. Purchase account, then the transactions which are related to purchase, either it is to be recorded in the debit side or and simultaneously the transaction which are recorded in the credit side. Then after that you have to balance it. Okay, so purchase account shows debit balance 3,500. Then Mrs. Sobhagya account you have to prepare. Then the transaction which are related to Sobhagya on the debit side as well as on the credit side you have to prepare. And there is no question. See, Mrs. Sobhagya doesn't have, neither have debit balance nor have credit balance, because both the side of Mrs. Obey account matched, and sales account, the transaction which are related to sales have to be recorded on the debit as well as the credit. And by seeing this, sales account shows a credit balance of rupees 6,500. Discount, okay, transactions related to discount that you have to record it in the discount account on the respective sides, and you have to find out what is the balancing position. Here discount account shows a debit balance of rupees 20. Then after that, DPO account you have to prepare, salary account you have to prepare, and commission account you have to prepare. Like that, for each of the account you have to find out which account shows debit balance and which account shows credit balance. Clear? So after finding out, after writing commission account shows a credit balance of rupees. So this is all about how one business firm or business organization can post them in the book of uh, what? In the book of ledger. So any doubt up to this? Any doubt up to this? So with this, we successfully completed the process of recording the transaction in the book of journal as well as in the book of ledger. So let us move on to discuss the cash and the bank, for which I am sharing a separate uh, slide or a separate thing before you. So,
ସାର୍
hmm,
ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ଏବେ ଯୋଉଟା ପଢେଇଲେ ସେଟା ପଠେଇବେ କି materials ଟା?
materials ପଠେଇଦେବି, ପଠେଇଦେବି। ସେଟା ତମକୁ କିଛି ବହି ମିଳିଛି?
ହଁ ବୁକ୍ ତ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି accounts ର।
ହଁ,
ମିଳିଥିଲା ଗୋଟେ। ହୁଁ।
ସେଇ ବହିରେ ବି ସେମ୍ ଜିନିଷ ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି, ଯଦି କହିବ ଦେଇଦେବେ, କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ। କିନ୍ତୁ କୋର୍ସ ସବୁ ଜାଗା ସରିଯାଉ, ବୁଝିଲା।
ହୁଁ ହୁଁ
କୋର୍ସ କୋର୍ସ ସବୁ ସରିଗଲା ପରେ ମୁଁ ତମେ ମୋତେ କ'ଣ କରିବ, ଜଣେ ମୋ ନମ୍ବର ରଖିଦେବ ହେଲା। ଜଣେ ନମ୍ବର ରଖି ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ସଆପ୍ ନମ୍ବର ଦେଇଦେଲେ ମୁଁ ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ସଆପ୍ରେ ସବୁ ଜାଗା ସେଣ୍ଡ କରିଦେବି। ତମେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ତମ ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ହେଲା ତମେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ବାଣ୍ଟିବ। ମାନେ ଯିଏ ଯିଏ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛ, ବର୍ଣ୍ଣାଳୀ, ଶୋଭା, ଅମୂଲ୍ୟ, ହଁ, ଆଉ ଯିଏ ଯିଏ କ'ଣ,
ଆମର ତ ଗୋଟେ କଲେଜର ଗ୍ରୁପ ଅଛି ଯୋଉଟାର ସେ ରଶ୍ମି ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ହେରିକା ସବୁ ସେଣ୍ଡ କରିଦିଅନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ
ବୁଝିପାରିଲି ଯେ,
ପାଖକୁ।
ହଁ।
ଆମର ପର୍ସନାଲ କିଛି ଗ୍ରୁପ ନାହିଁ।
ଆରେ ପର୍ସନାଲି ମୁଁ କ'ଣ ସେଥିରେ ଆଡ୍ ହେଇପାରିବି କି, ତମର ଯୋଉ ପର୍ସନାଲ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ, ତମର ଯୋଉ
ନାଇଁ
ଅଫିସିଆଲ
ନାହିଁ ବି
ଗ୍ରୁପ?
କିଛି। ହଁ ତ ସେ ମ୍ୟାଡାମକୁ ହିଁ ପଠେଇଲେ ସେଇ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ସେୟାର କରନ୍ତି।
ହଁ, ମୁଁ ସେଇଟା ବୁଝିଲି ଯେ, ମୁଁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମକୁ ଆଉ କାହିଁ ପଠେଇବି, ତମେ ଭାୟା ମିଡ଼ିଆ କରିକି ମୁଁ ତମକୁ କାହାକୁ ପଠେଇଦେଲେ ତମେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ପଠେଇଦେଲେ ହବନି ଏକା କଥା।
ୟେସ୍ ସାର୍।
ହେଲା, ଦେଖିବା, ଆଗ ପଢ ହେଲା,
ହୁଁ
ଆଗ
ହୁଁ
ପଢ, ପଢିଚାଲ। ତମେ ତମର ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ ଗୁଡ଼ା ବି ଦେଖ, ଯୋଉଠି ଡାଉଟ୍ ହେଲା ମୋତେ ପଚାର। କିନ୍ତୁ ତମର ଯୋଉ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ ଏବେ ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ସେଇଟା ବି, ସେ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ ବି ସେୟା ଅଛି। ଏଠି ମୁଁ କିଛି ଅଧିକା କହୁନି କି ଅଧିକା ଲେଖା ହେଇନି, ସବୁ ସେମ୍ ଜିନିଷ, ଖାଲି ହେଉଛି ଡେଲିଭରେସନ୍ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ। ବୁଝିଲେ ବୁଝିଲେ।
ୟେସ୍
ଠିକ୍
ସାର୍।
ଅଛି। ତାପରେ ଆମେ ଯିବା ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ପାର୍ଟକୁ, ଯୋଉଟା ଅଛି ତମର କ'ଣ ନା କ୍ୟାସ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ। କ୍ୟାସ୍ ନାଇଁ, ଏଇଟା କ୍ୟାସ୍ ବୁକଟା ଦେଖିବା। ହେଲେ କ୍ୟାସବୁକ୍ରେ କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି, ଏବେ ଦେଖାଗଲା, ଦେଖିଲ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖାଗଲା।
ସାର୍।
କ୍ୟାସବୁକ୍ ହେଉଛି ଗୋଟେ ପାର୍ଟର ସବସିଡିଆରୀ ବୁକ୍। ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜର୍ନାଲ ପଢ଼ୁଥିଲେ ସେତେବେଳେ ଦେଖିଲେ ଯେ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଭେରି ଡିଫିକଲ୍ଟ, ଟାଇମ୍ କନଜ୍ୟୁମିଂ ଆଣ୍ଡ କମ୍ବର୍ସମ୍। ओके बहुत गुड़े कैश ट्रांजैक्शन होची ए जो कैश ट्रांजैक्शन हवा द्वारा कौन ना कितने कैश है कैश सेल्स परचेज गुड्स फॉर कैश फर्निचर परचेज फॉर कैश पेमेंट वेजेस फॉर कैश सो बहुत गुड़े जिनस होची सो सेठी पे हमें कौन करिया गोटे कैश बुक तैयारी करबा आ जर्नल रेकॉर्ड करबा ସେଥିପାଇଁ ହେଉଛି କ୍ୟାସ୍ ବୁକ୍ ଦରକାର ମାନେ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟ ଆମେ କ୍ୟାସ୍ ବୁକ୍ରେ ହିଁ ଏଣ୍ଟ୍ରି କରିଦେଲେ ସବୁଠୁ ଭଲ ହେବ ଆଉ ବେସିକାଲି ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନରେ କ'ଣ ହୁଏ ଚାରି ପ୍ରକାର କ୍ୟାସ୍ ବୁକ୍ ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ହେଉଛି ସିଙ୍ଗିଲ କଲମ କ୍ୟାସ୍ ବୁକ୍ ଯେଉଁଠି ଦେଖ ଏଇଠି ମୁଁ ହାଇଲାଇଟ୍ କରୁଛି ଗୋଟେ ସିଙ୍ଗିଲ କଲମ କ୍ୟାସ୍ ବୁକ୍ ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ଡବଲ କଲମ କ୍ୟାସ୍ ବୁକ୍ ମାନେ ଟୁ କଲମ କ୍ୟାସ୍ ବୁକ୍ ଅଛି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ପେଟି କ୍ୟାସ୍ ବୁକ୍ ଅଛି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରିପୁଲ କଲମ କ୍ୟାସ୍ ବୁକ୍ ଅଛି ହେଲା ସିଙ୍ଗିଲ କଲମ ଡବଲ କଲମ ଆଉ ଟ୍ରିପୁଲ କଲମ ଆଣ୍ଡ ପେଟି କ୍ୟାସ୍ ବୁକ୍ କିନ୍ତୁ ସବୁ ଜାଗାରେ ପିଲେ ହଁ ट्रिपल कलम कैश बुकटा यूज करती कहीं से कैश बैंक आउ डिस्काउंट थाए कि मोस्ट ऑफ दी जगह टू कलम भी चली जाए टू कलम रे कौन हम कैश विथ बैंक कलम कैश विथ डिस्काउंट ओके बैलेंसिंग टू कलम कैश बुक पोस्टिंग टू कलम कैश बुक एंड रेकॉर्डिंग टू कलम कैश बुक आम गोटे कैश बुक आ पेटी कैश बुक कहले कौन बुझ ना स्मॉल पेटी मीन्स स्मॉल देखिए प्रत्येक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रे दी प्रकार कैशियर था दी प्रकार कैशियर कौन ना गोटे हेड कैशियर आ गोटे असिस्टेंट कैशियर हेड कैशियर कौन बड़ बड़ ट्रांजैक्शन द ट्रांजैक्शन व्हिच इन्वॉल्व्स लार्ज अमाउंट ट्रांजैक्शन व्हिच इन्वॉल्व्स लार्ज अमाउंट they are to be recorded in cash books okay but transactions related to small amount will be recorded in the petty cash book so let us discuss one by one what are the different types of cash books are there okay so how cash books are to be recorded see single column cash book see single column cash book is just looking like a account cash account see in cash account there are two sides one is debit side second one is credit side and each cash book each single column cash book is divided into two parts see I told you that this is looking like alphabet T if you put this line and this side is known as left side this side is known as right side left side date particular ledger folio amount right hand side date particular ledger folio amount clear this is the format of a single column cash book okay so how single column cash book is to be recorded see this is the illustration one from the following particulars of Messrs Navin and Co prepare a simple cash book and balance the same so Navin started business with a capital of rupees 25,000 opened a bank account purchased goods for cash okay then purchased furniture, purchased goods from Ramlal on credit, sold goods to Chetlal on credit. So here you have to prepare one cash book. Okay, cash book. So like this here in the date column, debit side date particulars, debit date particular ledger folio amount. In the credit side again date particular ledger folio amount. Already I told you debit means all receipts जो उपाय तुम कैश रिसीव कर जो ट्रांजैक्शन गुड़ा आम ऊपर पढ़ले जो ट्रांजैक्शन गुड़ा क्वेश्चन देती जो ट्रांजैक्शन गुड़ा से ट्रांजैक्शन गुड़ा जोड़ा रिसीप्ट ट्रांजैक्शन आम कैश बुक डेबिट साइड लिखा जोड़ा पेमेंट मेड विथ द हेल्प ऑफ कैश ताको आम लिखा क्रेडिट साइड and chronologically we have to record all these things chronologically okay date wise okay date wise see on the date column here it is July 1 then after that July 6 after that July 16 then after that July 19 July 22 like that you have to record so fast transaction see what is the fast transaction fast transaction is Navin started business with a capital of rupees 25,000 what is the journal entry cash account debited to capital account see how it has been written in the cash book so put this is the cash book cash account debited to capital account July 1 1987 and the amount in the amount column that you have to write in 25,000 similarly in July 2 opened a bank account and deposited 20,000 that means out of 25,000 you have deposited how much 20,000 so what are the two different accounts involved two different accounts one is cash account another is bank account what is the journal entry bank account debited to cash account But reversely, while posting the same transaction in the cash book, you have to read that particular journal in a reverse manner. That means, cash account credited by bank account, and in the date column you have to write 1987 July to by bank account 20,000. So like this, for each of the transaction you have to prepare the journal first, and in order to avoid the conversion process, directly you can record all the cash transaction in the cash book instead of posting them in the journal book. So after writing all the transaction in the different sides of the cash book, then you have to balance it. What is the purpose of balance? To find out whether cash account shows debit balance or credit balance. So here in this particular solution, we found out that cash account shows a debit balance of rupees 7,600. Okay, so this is all about cash book, and in the next class we'll discuss the how a double column cash book is to be prepared with the help of bank column. Okay, and most, as I told you, most of the organizations, they are preparing cash account, bank account, and discount account, which means a triple column cash book. Okay, we'll discuss subsequently. So we are running short of time. So this is the end of today's session. Uh, if you find any kind of doubt, you can ask me in the tomorrow's class. Okay. So my again sincere request to all of you that if you are having any doubt, you can go from the module. Okay. Thank you all. Good night.
Hello. A very good evening to all. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Okay. So, shall we start? So, uh, so what we have studied yesterday? Can anyone tell me what is the difference between hardware and software? You need little more time for refreshment or something? Hello? No one is responding.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. Okay, shall we start? Or you need more time, little more time?
Ma'am, hardware is a uh, tangible part
Mm-hmm.
of a computer, and
Okay.
that which is such as like a keyboard, mouse, monitor,
Mm. Yes.
and a software is a intangible part, or it is a
Mm-hmm.
program mm,
It is a
that
program.
tell
Yes.
that tell what to do to the software. Sorry, no, to the
To the
hardware.
hardware. Yes. Very good. Are they both are dependent on each other or independent of each other?
Ma'am, dependent with each other.
Yes. Very good. Okay. Can anyone tell me some input devices? What are the input devices we have? Hmm?
Input devices like scanner
Hmm.
uh, or our keyboard
Keyboard.
or
Very good.
mouse,
Hmm.
uh, joystick,
Joystick.
uh, also touch screen,
Touch screen. Yes. Very good.
uh,
Microphone.
and mic.
Yes. Mic. Microphone. You can say
Microphone.
web. Yes. Microphone or mic. Whatever. Same thing. Or you can say webcam. Yes.
Webcam. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Now tell me what are the output devices we have?
Output devices like
Ma'am,
speaker,
printer,
Printer.
printer,
Yes. Very good.
monitor, or
Monitor. What
projector,
else? Projector. Very good.
headphones,
Headphones. Yes.
output device,
Yeah. What else? Speaker. Speaker is an output device or it is an input device?
output device, ma'am.
Yes. Very good. Okay. What is the full form of your CPU?
Central processing unit.
Okay. What the CPU does? What CPU
Uh,
does? Hmm.
process data.
Okay. Process data. Very good. So yesterday we have gone through a cycle. What that cycle means? What is that cycle? What is the functions of a CPU? याद है? That is the fetch, decode, and execute cycle. Yes? Yes or no?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the first step is we fetch the instruction, whatever the instruction you are giving from an input device, okay, that we fetch those instructions from the main memory, okay, and then what we do, we decode those instructions into a command. So who does that? That we known as a control unit, okay. So after we decode that instruction to a command, then that command gets execute. And who do that? That is your ALU, arithmetic logic unit.
Unit.
Yes. So after processing those commands, again we stores those results into the Main memory. So this entire cycle we called as a fetch, decode, execute cycle. Yes, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so these are like basically the components of your CPU, like control unit ho gaya, your ALU and your register, cache memory. So these are basically the components of your CPU. Okay, what else we have studied yesterday? I think. Now tell me, what are the storage devices we have? What are the storage device we have?
SDD, hard
SDD.
disk
What
drive,
is the full form of SDD?
hard disk drive,
Hard disk drive. Very good. What else?
um, SSD, solid
SSD full
state
form.
drive,
Very
solid
good.
state drive,
Hmm.
or like mm, uh,
Your CD, DVD.
CD,
Yes, CD, DVD. Your USB drive, जिसको हम बोलते हैं पेन ड्राइव. That is a portable, right? Portable मतलब you can move from one place to
we can
another
carry
place.
it to
Yes,
anywhere.
carry. Yes, anywhere. Yes. Okay. What else? Storage device that everyone using nowadays, that is your cloud storage. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Which is much faster? Is it a HDD or it is a SSD?
SSD more very fast, but
Yes.
very expensive.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Okay. So today we are going to start with the memory. Actually, everything is interrelated only. Can anyone mute? I think someone is unmute here. Uh, Sudhanshu Shekhar, can you just mute yourself? Okay. Okay, let's start with the memory. So what do you mean by memory? What do you mean by memory? Memory क्या है? What do you mean by memory here? Yes, anyone? क्या है memory?
हम
हाँ, tell me.
हम जो काम करते हैं उस कंप्यूटर में जो हम काम करते हैं
हाँ हाँ.
उसको अ, बंद करने के बाद भी वही जगह से काम स्टार्ट करते हैं, उसको मेमोरी कहते हैं। उसको क्या
Okay. So you are telling about your volatile or non-volatile. Okay. See, there is a memory like जैसे कि you are the human being, right? Right? So human being में आपका memory कहाँ पे store होता है? Where does it store? It's in brain, right? Yes or no? So memory is what? It is a something where your data, your information, your programs get stored. A very simple memory क्या है? Computer का memory क्या है? ठीक है? It's something like a your brain of the computer. ठीक है? जैसे कि आपका body का जैसे brain होता है ना, जहाँ पे all the memory gets stored in your brain. Same wise, your memory in a computer is where your data, your information, your program gets stored. Okay? Yes or no? So basically, it is used to store the data, your program, and it also helps the computer to work faster. Okay? Yes or no? Now, if your memory is slow or it is not enough space to store the data, so definitely it can affect the productivity and your decision making. Yes? Is any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So how the memory is, it makes the computer fast, okay, and it also used to stores your important data, like your customer details ho gaya, whatever the day-to-day activities. So it stores everywhere in the memory only. Okay. So let me just share one PPT with you. So basically two types of computer memory we have. Another one is, first one is your primary memory, जिसको हम बोलते हैं main memory. Another one is your what? Secondary memory. Okay. And another is also there, that is your ternary memory. Let me share one PPT with you. Uh, okay. Is that clear? Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See, this is what the computer memory means. It is a something that where the data is gets stored. Okay. What we stores our whatever the important data we have. Okay, we have our images, our photos, everything. Now, if your memory is slow or it is not enough space, so definitely it can slow down. Yes or no? So, hamesa no, whenever you purchase any laptop or whenever you purchase a mobile, we always try to purchase jiska RAM thoda zyada hoga. Okay, because so that your task will get faster. If your memory is very less amount or it is very slow, then definitely it will affect to your task. Okay. So memory is very important, very crucial part of any computer. Okay. So see, this is, we have like two types of, basically three types are there, but I can say two types. One is your primary memory, which is known as volatile memory. Now, what do you mean by volatile memory? Anyone? Volatile का मतलब क्या है? What does it mean? Volatile means?
ध्यान सिंह
Yeah, tell me.
डाटा भ्यानिश हो सकता है, मतलब
When? कब डेटा वैनिश हो?
मतलब पावर कट होगा तो
Exact. Yes.
वहीं पर काम रुक जाएगा और शुरू से काम करना पड़ेगा। जहाँ
Yes.
छोड़
Very
दे
good.
वहाँ काम नहीं करना।
Yes. Very good. Right. Correct answer. So volatile memories means what? When your power turned off, okay, all your data will get lost. Okay. So basically, it is used for your temporary storage. Okay. So here I have mentioned two types of memory. One is your RAM, that is your random access memory. Another one is your cache memory. Okay. Okay. So RAM is what? It is a random access memory. Okay. Where it is a main memory of a computer where all your data gets stored. Okay. Cache memory is another type of memory. It's a small memory, whereas RAM is, it is a little bit bigger one. Whereas cache memory, it is like a small memory, which is located inside your CPU. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Second type of memory we have like secondary memory, which is known as non-volatile memory. Now, non-volatile memory matlab kya hai? Volatile means that all the data will get lost if when the power is turned off. Okay. Non-volatile means what? It means it keeps the data even after the power is turned off. So it is basically for the permanent storage.
গ্যাস
Okay.
ট্যাবলেট ওটে আর ওটে খাই বলা
Who is talking? Okay. So non-volatile memory is it keeps the data even after your power is turned off. Okay. So here I have mentioned two types of non-volatile memory. One is your hard disk drive, another one is your solid state drive. Okay.
Vichina.
Alicia, can you just mute yourself? Now the third type of memory, that is your ternary memory, which is known as optical disk. Okay. That is your CD, DVD. Okay. These are your ternary memory, and it is very less common used nowadays. Okay. Nowadays, we are not using this CD and DVD much. Much matlab we are not using only, I guess. Okay. 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 Everyone understood? So we have like basically three types of memory. One is your primary, another one is your secondary memory, and the third one is your ternary memory. Okay. Any doubt on this?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Now let's move to the next. That is your, what are the communication devices we have? Now tell me, what do you mean by communication? How I am communicating with you guys? In which language
Communication.
I am communicating with you? Yes. What do you mean by communication?
Communication means mm, to,
Hmm.
to talk or some
Yes.
mm,
What do you mean by communication? It's a very common thing. Communication. Yes,
we
anyone?
we deliver our feelings or our anger or something that we are feeling to someone through the message, through um, through call,
Through phone or
message,
something.
something.
Yes. So
Text,
in very simple, you can say communication means sharing some information between, two or more people. Yes or no?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Communication का मतलब क्या है? That you share something. You share your information to other people. That is what the communication is. Now I am sharing what is the communication device, right? With all of you. So communication is like something sharing. So we have certain communication device we have. Okay. So communication means what? These are like basically hardware tools. Okay. The communication device are what? These are like hardware tools. Okay. That helps the computer, or other device that send and receive the data to each other. Okay. So communication device are what? These are the hardware tool. ठीक है? Hardware आजकल तो hardware भी नहीं होता, software भी also there. Okay, so communication device are basically the hardware tools that helps the computer when you send or you receive the message. Okay, how you send and receive the message? Over the network or over some communication channel. Okay, these are like communication device. So now can anyone say like what are the communication device we have? Yes. Anyone?
In hardware, we can say phone,
Very good.
telephone.
Very nice. Yes.
In
Or
software,
uh-huh.
we can say email, message, fax.
Smartphone, laptop.
Yes. In case of hardware, you can say laptop, phone. Yes. Very good. Yes. Your radio, walkie-talkie. We can say that one. Whereas who is Ayush?
Yes, ma'am.
In case of software, yes. In case of software, you can say like your WhatsApp, right?
WhatsApp,
We send and receive
messages,
messages.
emails.
Yes. Emails. Okay. So these are like software communication. Okay. Now let me show you communication device here. So the first one is your telephone that helps the computer, to talk each other. Okay. So the first one is your telephone. Okay. So telephone to sabko pata hai that telephone allows a voice communication over a long distance. Yes. Like we have landline phones, we have mobile phones. These are your telephone. Yes. I think cell phone. Okay. Another device is known as your mobile phones. Okay. So basically mobile phones are portable devices. Whereas telephone is not a portable device. It is connected through a wire. Whereas mobile phones are portable device. Okay. Where we use for your voice call, we can send messages, we can use various apps. Whereas in telephone, it is a voice communication only. Okay. Any doubt? Okay. Next. Next communication device you can say like computers, laptops. Okay. We have email. We have video conferencing tool. जैसे कि अभी we are doing the communication through Zoom app. Yes. There is also Google Meet. We have also Microsoft Teams. These are like video conferencing tools where we can do the video calls. Okay. Yes or no? Yes. So these are your types of communication device like telephone, mobile phones, your desktop, your email, your video conference too. Like Zoom, Teams, Google Meet. These are your communication devices. Okay. And another one is I have mentioned here radios, walkie-talkies. So these are your communication device. Okay. Now, if I will talk about the communication device in the digital area, like in the digital age, so we have like social media, जैसे कि आपका Facebook हो गया, Instagram. So these are your social media. Okay. And what else? Like your Insta messaging apps, जैसे कि WhatsApp, I think Snapchat. Yes, these are your instant messaging app. Okay. And also we have like storage, cloud storage. Okay. So these are the communication devices in your digital age. Okay. Understood? Any doubt? Very easy, right? Any doubt on this?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, what about the satellite? We are getting the means forecast. It may be
Satellite, it can
include.
be a communication device. Yes, it can be a.
You were getting the weather forecast of
Yes, it can be a communication device.
Okay,
We are
ma'am.
communicating, right? So it
Mhm.
can be also communication device. Yes. Okay. That also you can mention. It's a communication device. Okay. And okay. So any doubt on this? So if I'll ask you, give some examples of communication device, you can say, right? Okay. Now we have like another one topic is that is your configuration of hardware device. Now what do you mean by configuration? Anyone? Configuration का मतलब क्या है? What do you mean by configuration? See, configuration means that how your
Setup
computer
करना.
system, yeah, setup, yes, very good. That how your computer system or your device, it set up or it has been arranged to work properly. ठीक है? जैसे कि suppose you have brought a desktop to your home, okay? So first what, there will be a desktop, there will be a monitor, there will be a keyboard, there will be a mouse, there will be a CPU. So what you will do, you will configure. Okay, you will set up, you will arrange those hardware so that everything as a group it will work properly. Okay, that is what the configuration means. Okay, means how your computer or device is arranged so that it can work properly. That is what the configuration means. Okay, so what are the configuration of hardware device we have? See, like your CPU, your RAM, your hard disk drive, okay, your solid state drive, okay, your monitor, your printer, your keyboard, your mouse, okay, and some network devices. So these are like your what are these are your hardware, okay, your configuration of your hardware devices. आप इसको configure करते हो या नहीं करते हो? Yes, you all, it has been all connected. Yes or no? Yes. Yes or no? Tell me. Understood or not? Configuration का मतलब समझ पाया या no? Shall I explain
Yes,
it
ma'am.
again?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood now?
Yes, ma'am.
मतलब
Yes.
that how basically in very simple I will tell that configuration means that how what the hardware parts are installed. क्या क्या आप installed कर रहे हो? Okay, you are installing CPU, you are installing RAM. Okay, you are connecting your mouse, you are connecting your keyboard. That is what the configuration means. Okay, how your software is get installed, how it has been arranged, okay, how you are connecting or how you are setting your networks. So these are what your configuration means. Okay, now if for example if someone will says that computer configuration means that you have to list all the parts inside the computer and how they are set up. Okay, in very simple language I'll say that it will list all the parts, whatever the parts of a computer is, okay, and how we are setting up those parts of a computer. That is what the configuration means. Okay, any doubt from this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So this is how we have the computer parts and we are configured. One is CPU, RAM, hard disk drive, monitor, keyboard, and network device. Okay. What do you mean by network device? Any idea? नेटवर्क डिवाइस का मतलब क्या है?
है
What do you mean by network device?
Hotspot like dongle, Wi-Fi,
Hotspot like dongle. Okay. Okay. Where
um,
actually where it's a
Ethernet,
about yeah, tell me.
router.
Router. Any idea what is router?
मैम ये जो क्या बोलते हैं उसको?
घर पे राउटर है? Do you have
हाँ मैम,
Wi-Fi at your home?
वाईफाई. हाँ मैम,
Hmm?
यस मैम, यस मैम.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes. So router is something, that is it is connected to your network. Okay. Matlab, you can distribute your internet connection to a multiple device. Okay. Here I have also written a modem. You heard about the modem? Yes.
No मैम, no मैम,
Modem. कभी नहीं सुने हो modem?
नहीं मैम.
Actually, earlier we are using like modem. In case of modem, there is no Wi-Fi actually. It is always connected, to your ISP. Matlab, like phone line ke through you have to connected it, modem. And it is only connected to a single device only. Okay. Whereas in case of your router, it can be distribute the internet connection to a multiple device. Okay. अगर घर पे आपका router होगा ना, तो there will be a Wi-Fi. It can be connected, you can connect it through your mobile, you can connect it to the laptop. Okay. So it can, or you are connected to your desktop. So that is what the router means. Okay. It distribute the internet connection to the multiple device. Whereas your modem, okay, modem is only connected to your ISP. Okay, there is, matlab, it is only connected to a single device only. Okay. मतलब it needs to connect it to your phone line or cable line. ठीक है. Whereas in case of router, it provides you Wi-Fi. Okay, and it needs to connect it through a modem through an Ethernet cable. So that is what the router means. Okay,
So
and
in
switches
office,
there
what
is
we use?
they use router obviously.
Router.
Yes, router. See, I will show you the picture here. See, this is your router is. ठीक है. और यहाँ पे जो ये ऑरेंज ये ब्लू दिख रहे हो ना ये वाले सारी चीज these are called known as switches. ठीक है. These are the switches. In matlab in computer or networking language, we called it as a switch. Okay, and this is your router only. Okay. Okay. So basically router provides you Wi-Fi, but whereas modem doesn't provide you Wi-Fi. Okay, that is a wireless. It doesn't provide you wireless internet. Okay. And router is always connected or it is always distributed to the multiple device. So this is your router. I think घर पे यही होगा आपके पास router. And whatever we are using in office or colleges, we always use router only. Okay. Yes. Any doubt on this?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, let me just move to the next part. So here we have studied about your what is the memory, what are the types of memory, and what do you mean by configuration of your hardware devices. Very easy, nothing is there. Okay. This is what next slide. Okay, now tell me what do you mean by software? We have already discussed about this software. What do you mean by software? It's a what? Is it all of you visible? This slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What do you mean by software?
Software is the tangible part of a intangible part of a computer that we can see, but we can't touch. We cannot touch.
Yes.
And
We cannot touch. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. So basically, software means it's in a computer language you can say it is a set of instructions. Okay,
Or
or
program.
it's a yes or programs. To do certain tasks. That is what the software means, and of course it is an intangible. Okay. So software is something, it is a set of instruction. If someone will ask you, what do you mean by software? If I'll ask you, software is a dash and dash. You can say it is a set of instruction and programs. Okay.
yes.
See, it refers to the set of instruction or programs that tells the computer what to do. Okay. Okay. So like hardware is the physical components of software, whereas software is used to make the hardware functional. Okay, that is what your software means. Okay, so we have like two types of software, which I have earlier also mentioned. One is your system software, and another one is your what? Any idea? Application software. Okay, what are the types of software? Yes, Ayush, tell me what is the types of software? System software and application software. Okay, system software means what? It is a software, that runs the computer itself. Okay, that runs the computer itself. And it helps all other hardware, whatever the other hardware are there, okay, and other software are there, it works together. That is what the system software means. Understood? Like your operating system. Okay, like your operating system. ठीक है, so that is your system software. System में रहता है. Okay, that runs the computer only. मतलब computer खुद वो run करता है. That is what the system software. Okay, let me show you. So the first category is that is your system software. So it is the software that is responsible for running the computer hardware. Okay, that is running the computer hardware and providing a platform for running the application program. See, without your, this is what the operating system you have right now. Can anyone tell me?
Android 16.
Android 16. Android. You're talking about phone. Okay. What
Windows
about
11.
laptop? Laptop.
Windows 11.
Windows 11. Okay, that is the operating system. Matlab, without operating system, you can't operate anything. No hardware can run only. Okay. So system software is that it's a software that runs the computer itself. Matlab, without system software, you can't run the computer only. Okay. So, and it also helps your other hardware and other software that work together. So it gives you the platform that where your application software can also run. Okay. See, what are the examples we have? Like operating systems. Okay. जैसे कि आपका विंडो हो गया, मैक हो गया, लिनक्स हो गया, एंड्रॉयड जो आपके फोन पे रहते हैं. ठीक है. So these are your system software. Okay. Understood? What is example you can give on system software? That is your device drivers. See, you have brought a printer. Okay. Now you connected that printer to your desktop. Now can the printer will work? Only you just connected it. Does it will work?
No, no.
Why?
We
क्यों
have
काम नहीं कर?
to put the
Yes.
software on the laptop before
Yes.
starting
Very
the
good. You
computer.
have to configure that software. एक पता है प्रिंटर के साथ एक सीडी आता है जिसको हम बोलते हैं ड्राइवर. ठीक है. सो यू हैव टू इंस्टॉल दैट ड्राइवर and you have to configure that driver with your hardware, and after that only your printers will work. Yes. So this is also a system software. Okay. So what are the examples I'm talking about your system software? Is your operating system, your device driver. Okay. And another is also there, that is your utility software. Utility software means what? These are the software that helps to maintain and manage the computer. जैसे कि आपका antivirus software हो गया. ठीक है. आपका disk cleanup tools हो गया. You know, in the laptop there is a disk cleanup tools. Have you heard about that one? No? Yes or no? Antivirus तो पता होगा. ये सारे जो images मैंने यहाँ पे दिए, these are the antivirus. Okay. And this antivirus software we called as a utility software. ठीक है. जो आपके कंप्यूटर को मैनेज और मेंटेन करके रखता है, जैसे कि कोई वायरस आपके कंप्यूटर को अफेक्ट ना करे. ओके. दैट इज व्हाट द यूटिलिटी सॉफ्टवेयर मींस. घर पे यूटिलिटी एरिया होता है. यस और नो? यस. ओके. सो सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर मतलब क्या है? सो बेसिकली इट इज अ software that runs the computer itself. Okay, where all the hardware and other software, it works together. That is the your system software. And what are the examples we have? We are like operating system, your device drivers. Okay, your utility software. So these are your system softwares. Okay. For example, like think of a manager in a company. You are like there is a manager who controls the entire organization. So same wise, your system software is a manager, that controls the entire computer system. Yes. Understood? Yes or no? Or any doubt you have? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. ठीक है. And what is the second type of software is that is your application software. Okay. Now, what do you mean by application software? It is a software that we use to do a specific task. ठीक है? On a computer. Suppose, for example, I want to watch a movie. So, which software? अरे मूवी देखते हो या नहीं देखते हो?
Which YouTube or Hotstar?
Hotstar. Okay. That is what? That is the application software. Yes or no?
Application software.
Yes. Application. That is
Yes,
application
ma'am.
software. जो it is used to do a specific task. ठीक है? If you want to send a message to a friend, so which application software you will use? Or
We
which
use
app you
WhatsApp,
will use? WhatsApp.
WhatsApp
Yes.
and Gmail.
WhatsApp or Gmail. Yes. Now, if I'll say
Browser.
you want browser. Yes, very good. That is also application software.
Photo
Okay. Now
editing.
you want, sorry,
Photo editing software.
photo editing software. Now, if you want to edit some photo, that is also application software. Okay. Now, if you want to purchase some clothes online, so which software you will use? Your favorite app is what? Which one?
Amazon.
Flipkart or Amazon.
That
Gotcha. Myntra and Amazon. Now, if you want to do online study or video meeting, so which app you will use? So many apps are there.
Zoom, Meet.
Baiju, Proper, Unacademy,
Acha, Byju online study. Now we are using which tool for our online study?
Zoom Meet,
Zoom.
Zoom
Zooming.
Meet.
Okay, video meeting. That is a Zooming. So these are like application software. Now you understood? So basically, I'll say that application software is like a worker. Okay, whereas your system software is like a manager that manage the whole system. Okay, whereas application software is like a worker that helps you, to get your task done. Okay, that is what your application software means. Okay, or
Yes, ma'am.
a very simple example, I can say that system software is like an engine of a car. ठीक है? इंजन आपका जो कार में इंजन होता है या नहीं होता है? इंजन होता है. ठीक है? That engine runs the whole car or whole system. So like system software is like a engine of a car. Okay. Now tell me, कार में application software कौन सा होगा? If your engine is your system software that runs the whole system, then which one will be the application software in your car?
GPS.
Huh?
GPS.
GPS.
No.
Very good. और एयर कंडीशनर. यस. आपका जो FM बजता है रेडियो, that can be also application software. Now, can you just differentiate between what is a system software and what is the application software? Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. See, I have just mentioned some few examples of your application software, like your MS Office, okay, spreadsheet, that is your Excel, your PowerPoint. These are your application software. Okay. What else? Your web browser, your graphics or design software, जिसको Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator. These are your application software. See, I have here just given an image that what is the system software and what is your application software. Okay. Your Netflix, Facebook, these are the application software. WhatsApp. Okay. And these are your system software. Okay. Done? Understood, everyone? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have also another type of software, that is a development software. ठीक है, डेवलपमेंट सॉफ्टवेयर जहाँ पे हम प्रोग्राम्स लिखते हैं, where we write those program that we known as development software. Okay. Okay. So for development software, we use like your Visual Studio, Eclipse. These are certain, just know that these are some software that we use to write the programs. Okay. Yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we have studied like 3 types of software here. One is your system software, application software, another one is your development software. Basically 2 types. Here I've just mentioned a development software where you write your programs. ठीक है, जो आपका प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस होता है ना, we write in that development software. Okay. If someone will ask you, you have any idea that what are the developing software you have, you can say Visual Studio. Okay. Or your Eclipse or your PyCharm. These are like certain, development software. Okay. Okay. So what are the software benefits? That the first one is it increases the productivity, data management. So these are some benefits or important parts of your computer, of a software. Okay. Okay. Now let me tell about what are the programming language we have. Okay. What do you mean by programming language? So it is basically a special type of language, that a human or a person used to give instruction to the computer. Programming language kya hai? It's a set of instruction, okay? Or it's a special language, that developers or human beings, they use to instruct to a computer or what the computer do. It tells the computer what to do. That is what the programming language we have. Okay. Just like we speak Hindi, Odia, or English, to talk with the people. Same wise, we use programming language to talk with the computers. Is that clear? Yes. जैसे कि हम
Yes,
लोग अभी बात कर रहे हैं क्या इंग्लिश में, हिंदी में. Same wise, to talk with the computer, we use a programming language. Okay. अभी आप अपने दोस्त के साथ थोड़ी ना you will talk with a programming language. No, na. So you will speak in English or something, Hindi or Odia, whatever. But to talk with the computer, we use a programming language. Okay. Now let's see what are the programming languages we have. Okay. See, here I mentioned, is it visible? It's very smaller one. See, have you heard about Python?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we have like certain, programming language like Python, JavaScript, SQL, Java, HTML, C and C++. I will show you how to, develop just a website, just a simple website. Okay. I will show you a practical. I will show you that one. Okay. So these are certain programming language, examples of a programming language. One is your Python, JavaScript, SQL, Java, HTML, C, and C++. Okay. Okay. Now, why we use this programming language? We use the programming language, to develop a website or to develop any mobile app. Okay. And also we use for the data analysis, or we also use for this automation. So these are some benefits of your programming language. Why we use programming language? अगर आपको कुछ software develop करना है, or you need to develop a website, okay, or you want to analyze the data, जिसको हम बोलते हैं AI. For that, we use a programming language. Okay. Let me just tell you what are the usage of this programming language. Okay. The first one is Python. Okay. So basically Python, it is used for your web app or AI or in a data science, Python. Okay. And very commonly used programming language nowadays. Whereas this C and C++, it is very the oldest programming language we ever used. C and C++ is basically, used for your gaming app. जो आपका गेमिंग होता है ना, जो गेमिंग सिस्टम्स होता है, उसके लिए डेवलप करने के लिए भी यूज करते हैं सी एंड सी प्लस प्लस लैंग्वेज. ओके ओके एंड देयर इज अनदर आल्सो लैंग्वेज दैट इज योर जावास्क्रिप्ट. ओके सो बेसिकली जावास्क्रिप्ट हम यूज करते हैं टू इंटरैक्ट, टू मेक आवर वेबसाइट वेरी इंटरैक्टिव एंड डायनामिक. ठीक है. अगर आपको एक मतलब कुछ वेबसाइट डेवलप करना है तो वी यूज अ लैंग्वेज दैट इज योर HTML and CSS. Here I have written you HTML and CSS. To develop a website. अब जो भी वेबसाइट देखते हो ना, मिंत्रा हो गया, जो भी वेबसाइट देखते हो, we use the language that is your HTML and CSS. Okay? Okay. And to make that website interactive, matlab when you give some username, whenever you give some password and you click on that login button. So to work that login button, we use the language that is your JavaScript. Okay. And the C and C++ is used for the game development. Okay. Pub एक गेम है, पता है आपको? PUGB, pub.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, तो वो कौन सा लैंग्वेज में यूज होता है पता है? दैट इज योर C++. ओके. So to develop that gaming app, we use a C++ language. Okay. And another language I have written also, Java. Okay. Java basically used for, Android apps हो गया या website हो गया. We also use the Java language. Okay. And here I have also written SQL. That is your structured query language. Okay. So the structured query language means that we work with the backend part. Okay. In the next class, I will explain very nicely that what is the front end or back end. Okay. So you just remember these are some examples of your programming languages. Okay. Any doubt on this?
Yes, ma'am. Once again, Python used for and all once again. We have written, but just want to reconfirm.
Okay. Python is basically used for your data analysis. ठीक है. जो आपका डेटा एनालिसिस होता है, और फॉर द वेब एप्स और फॉर AI, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंसी और इन द डेटा साइंस, वी बेसिकली यूज फॉर द पाइथन. ओके. आपका जो इंस्टाग्राम होता है ना, ठीक है, वहां पे हम यूज किए हैं पाइथन. ओके. सो बेसिकली पाइथन लैंग्वेज इज यूज फॉर द डेटा एनालिसिस और इन द AI or in the machine learning or in your making website, we use a Python. Okay, and it is nowadays it is the very common programming language you are using. Okay, and this C and C++, that is the very oldest language. Okay, very old one. Nowadays we are not using that much, but yes, we are using for the gaming development, we use C and C++. Okay. And Java is another programming language that used for your Android apps. आपके एंड्रॉइड फोन है ना, उसमें जो एप्स हम यूज करते हैं, ओके, दैट वी कैन यूज बाय यूजिंग द जावा प्रोग्राम. ओके ओके. नाउ टू बिल्ड और टू मेक अ वेबसाइट, we use the language that is your HTML or CSS. I will tell what is the difference between HTML and CSS. And to make that website dynamic or interactive, we use the language that is your JavaScript. Okay. And the last language that is your SQL. SQL means to interact with your backend. जहाँ पे आपका data जहाँ पे stored रहता है ना, to interact with that one, we use the language is your SQL. Okay. In the next class, I will just make you what is the difference between front end and back end, and कहाँ कहाँ हम ये languages use करते हैं. I will show you that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's wrap up here. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So see you tomorrow then. So
Yes,
tomorrow
ma'am.
we have class, I guess.
Yes, ma'am, we have. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Have a
ma'am.
good
Good night.
night. Good night.